Okay.
A penguin takes his car into the shop, and the mechanic says he needs an hour to check it out.
What kind of car?
What kind of... A damn penguin car, all right? Anyway, he goes across the street to the 7-Eleven to kill some time and get an ice cream. Penguins love ice cream.
Really?
Sure. But because he's got no hands, the poor little guy gets the ice cream all over his beak.
This going somewhere?
So he goes back to the mechanic. The guy tells him, looks like you blew a seal. The penguin tells him, no, that's just a little ice cream.
Passengers certain to die. Airline negligent.
There's a sale at Penny's.
We're going to the tower.
The tower! The tower! Rapunzel! Rapunzel!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday Night Live with Bill Tucci.
Behold his mighty hand.
Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang.
Just want to manage expectations.
Moo! Nah!
This is the worst.
You know, there is hilarity, and there is this show.
Thank you.
And, you know, and then there's nothing beyond that, my friend.
Nothing at all. Well, there's also Satan was a lesbian.
Nice. Well, this is hashtag facts.
Facts. Salute, boys. Good to see you, Dr.
Facts,
Boone.
facts. Man, Billy, it looks like you're drinking a little bit of moonshine there, buddy. What's that?
I'm doing a little bit of scotch, and I'd like to welcome everyone who's watching. Marcus Killigrew, I said hello to you. My buddy Zach, what's happening? Zach's a Greek. We got old RJ. Good to see you, buddy. Randy Howell, thank you for coming back, buddy. All you guys, thanks for joining us. Hurin, the Steadfast, excellent to see you all. And in honor of our of my fellow Greeks, because Steve, I don't know if you know, I am 3% Macedonian.
Well, you know, there's no accounting for taste.
No, but this show is the hero of this show is not you, Steve Perros, today, but rather the one, the only, Mr. Telly Savalas.
I don't like to brag, but
Salute, Stiniasu.
As my patron saint.
Yes.
You know what? I'd like to. You know, you can give me the frame a second because you got to see this poster. This poster is a little bit better.
Oh, you? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, your poster. I was afraid to trigger anyone, Steve.
I got to show you this poster because this is outstanding. It's Christopher Lee on one end of the ensemble of heist guys who are hired by Telly Savalas to wreak havoc. And you got one bad guy on one end, it's Christopher Lee, and on the other end is O.J. Simpson.
Wow.
Peter Fonda, Telly Savalas. Now, that's how big a star Telly Savalas was, particularly in a film that was made, to be sold globally, internationally. Savalas was the man, not Peter Fonda, not O.J., but
Not
and then
Christopher Lee.
name in a box. They put Christopher Lee's name in a box. That means a little like a special guest. And if you look online, there's great two shots. You can find a two shot of Christopher Lee standing next to O.J. Simpson. I mean, if that isn't a pop culture brain explosion. I don't know what it is.
An instant classic. Well, I'm going to show you something. We have somebody in the audience right now, and I want to let everyone know that all of our thoughts and prayers are with him. We got to hang out last weekend, Steve, in New Jersey. I don't know if you're familiar with New Jersey.
I am. I think the show is just me right now, though, Billy, and I'm not the star.
Oh, geez, look at that! I'm looking online, and I'm. Well,
I think it's way better than the old Jersey for sure.
All right, so I'm sorry, Billy, I interrupted. Continue. Tell me the story again.
Well, we got to hang out last weekend, not this past weekend, the weekend before that. Boy, the times are going so fast, aren't they? My goodness. I got to hang out at the Garden State Comic Fest with a bunch of great guys. Steve, sort of to continue our 20-year, I guess, tradition at San Diego of smoking cigars and drinking some whiskey, and this morphed into the Graham Nolan Hawaiian shirt and cigar night that started about 10 years ago, and it's just blossomed. So last weekend at the at the Garden State Comic Fest, we had to have 60 people there, Steve.
Wow,
60! It was unbelievable.
Most one meal.
Beautiful gals were there too, of course. All in Hawaiian shirts, all smoking stogies and drinking whatever, whatever. Lots to drink. And we had a great time. And I want to share a little tweet though, because
how do you pay a bill like that?
Well, everyone brought their own stuff.
Oh,
everybody brought their own stuff. But I'm gonna share a little something here. That we had one of the heroes of the show, actually. Let me share that, though. Let me share screen. Here it is. So one of the heroes of our show, our buddy Zach over here.
Zachary.
Yeah, buddy Zach. If you look at this, my friends, Zachary's art just found out he has AIDS. We were all heartbroken for him. Thoughts and prayers. So there's Zach. Last weekend at the but it's nice to see that Zach
he's here watching. He's on.
Yes, he recovered from the AIDS.
He got over it. He got over it,
and he like a champ. But he's drinking the water there, and he was an animal, boys. He was an animal.
Wait, so just so I'm clear, you're making a joke. Is that correct?
Yeah, because nothing says jokes like AIDS.
Yeah, I'll just say okay. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Sorry. He doesn't have AIDS. He had as we used to say back in the day, the high five. How's that? So, Zach, let me give you a high five, Zach.
Are you saying he had the HIV?
So I think this must have something to do with the 3-hour time difference. I will somehow understand what's going on here in about 3 hours.
Yeah.
No, you won't, Steven.
We're not saying it's monkeypox or anything serious.
Well, first off, I just want to say hello there. How are you, Brian? I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays.
Well, I looked the other way. There was nobody there. I was like, how you doing, Steven?
I'm well, thanks.
I got to share something that I saw today on Twitter.
Oh, no. There's no telling what it's going to be now.
Dude, some guy is fighting some dude on the train in Toronto. And then this dude pulls out a knife and starts stabbing this guy and chasing him. You guys want to see that?
No, I don't.
No.
All right. Well, all right, pussies.
Why would you think? I got to go to bed. You're going to give me
he's like, help. The guy's like beating him up at first. And then all of a sudden, the dude pulls out a knife and he just starts.
Yeah, he's like, shake, shake, shake.
Yeah, I think
shake.
Here's Zachary. Yeah. Hey, Zach, I think your new nickname is High Five. That's it.
You're like, hey, let me just...
High five.
You're like, hey, I got a nice video to show you.
Get it, Zach, the high five.
Dying.
I do want to thank Randy Howell for putting putting my INDIEGOGO. No, that's gone. My Stoker and Wells INDIEGOGO.
Let's share some campaigns right now.
But let's start with you, Billy. This is about Senryaku.
Well, we'll share. Hey, Stoker and Wells. I have a small part, but I'm still a part of the S and the
S and W. I was live for an hour, Billy Tucci, and your original art for that awesome girl power cover of Eloy versus Vampire.
Yes.
The original art within an hour sold for $900.
I have that original art too. Let me go get it.
I hope so, because someone just paid $900 for it.
Let me go get it. I'll be right back, Steve.
You better have it, or you better draw it real quick.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Well, Brian, how's everything going? And what is that state that you live in again?
I live in Arkansas.
Wait a sec. That's not how you pronounce it.
It is. It's not mine. It's everybody. So it's Arkansas.
That's right. It
So
belongs
it's
to the
Arkansas.
Is there that's an interesting thing that most of the viewers don't know about, and I don't know if they want to know about, but I want to know about as a writer and as a curious person. They talk about the death of curiosity lately, but I'm curious: is there a percentage of people in the state known to the other 49 as Arkansas who call it Arkansas from within?
I don't know, because I haven't polled everybody. So.
Well, you're just your average guy on the
hey,
street.
what's up? Hey, is it Arkansas or Arkansas?
But are there people who call it Arkansas?
Man, I might be in a class of my own. To be honest with you.
That's no question about
I might be
that.
in a class of my own. Oh, great! Billy's back to show us a video of like my puppy getting beat to death.
Oh no!
No, I got seal videos. Anyway, so here's the art. This is the art. I'm going to go big.
You go full screen, baby. You know the button to push. There.
All right. So here we are. This is the original art for Stoker and Wells, the Ashes of Revenge variant cover, and it's an old thing.
Beautiful.
But thank you, Stephen, so much for having me do it, and also for fixing Mrs. Stoker's.
What did I fix?
Her mouth. Remember, because we had a little problem with her mouth. And like,
yes. No, it's gorgeous.
And I think it came out really nice. And
that's pretty incredible.
It really is beautiful. Billy did, Billy, for both of our books, the book is called Stoker and Wells, which is Bram Stoker and H.G. Wells, 20-something, good-for-nothing, bad boy, can't keep a job down, just got divorced, doesn't know what the heck to do with his life, and his 40-something grumpy theater manager who ultimately would write Dracula. So the main cover was always Stoker and Wells, and Billy, for both books, has done the variant cover, not having Stoker and Wells on it at all, but having our female lead. And this one, we have two female leads, and we said, why don't we keep that tradition up? And one of them's a vampire.
Yeah.
Vampiress, if such a thing is still correct to be said.
And that's what I did. I did it all. I've been doing this a long time, almost 30 years I've been doing this. And I learned that, you put a beautiful gal on a cover, it's going to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's purely capitalistic in nature for me to do this cover like that. Of course, I love vampires and things like that, but
yeah, no, it's an awesome cover.
It's good to draw some hot chicks. But speaking of hot chicks, I'm going to share my campaign because we have 29 minutes left, 28 minutes left. And we are, look at this, our Kickstarter, which launched more than a week after the Indiegogo campaign, is now, let me check on my Indiegogo campaign. Let me share it first. I'll do my little present. And then when it ends, Steve will go into a little Stoker and Wells and talk about old B-Lev and what he's doing and stuff. But here we are. Whoa! It just went up. Wow.
Nice.
We have 844 backers. Thank you guys so much. Our Indiegogo has 898 backers.
Wow.
And it's more than a week older. So thank you all to our Kickstarter backers. We're a big fan of the Kickstarter platform. I guess, well, the wife is too, because we've used that from the very beginning. And I love Indiegogo. Indiegogo numbers are always bigger for us, but Kickstarter's really made a huge turnaround. I think they're a lot more welcoming to say outlaw creators, if you will. Just yesterday, our little comic, the Shi Senryaku Omnibus edition, was named in the arts section, not just comics, but the entire arts and entertainment section. It was the featured project of the day.
Nice.
So thank you guys. And Steve, you with Ashes of Revenge was named a Kickstarter project we love.
In less than 24 hours, I got the email. In less than 24, somebody up there likes me, as Paul Newman said in that motion picture. Yes,
That's crazy.
So thank you guys for joining us. And again, we love our Indiegogo backers. I love the Indiegogo platform, but this isn't my first rodeo doing publishing and all, and so we're looking at it you got to look at it as a business. Especially when you're dealing with art, right, Steve?
Absolutely.
It's very passionate. We're all passionate about it. It's very emotional. We throw so much of ourselves into this, but at the end of the day, you got to think of it as a business. And here's a lesson to all you artists out there: you're never going to be satisfied with when you're working on deadlines. You can ask any comic creator. You can ask the great Dale Keown. You can ask Ethan Van Sciver. You can ask Graham Nolan. You can ask Andy Smith, Aaron Lopresti, Adam Hughes, Greg Capullo, John Romita. You're never fully satisfied with the finished product because you got to move on. You got to work, right, Steve? I mean, you got a deadline for scripts. I'm sure, like, oh man, with that screenplay.
No, I gotta say, it's usually later that I feel that way. Not me. I'm not saying I shouldn't have that feeling. Some people might say, "What doesn't he know how crappy that is?" But I usually don't leave the table unhappy with my work unless I am working for hire and I'm really not liking a cut I was asked to make or alteration that I really feel. Because a lot of times you do actually, despite the cliche, you sometimes, and very oftentimes, I would say certainly more than 50% of the time, are getting good notes from your collaborators. And sometimes it's stuff that you really wish you weren't doing, you weren't cutting, you weren't changing. So those are the only times I'm disappointed. Up to my own devices, I'm usually happy. It's probably about a year later I go, oh, why? Ryan, wake up. We got you. Stick with us.
Yeah.
Sakes, Blevins.
I was all energized until the intro of this show. I fell asleep like about 30 minutes into it.
Thank you, Emperor. Truly appreciate it. Jeremy Burt's good to see you, my friend. This is funny. Look, I have to back with hidden money or my wife will kill me. Bro, I know that. My wife does not think I bought a new firearm or a fishing pole in 15 years.
Marcus, I got to tell you, Marcus, my Stoker and Wells is a book that the ladies like.
Yeah, they do.
They like it because it's got that whole for you it's going to be vampires, time travel, time machines. For them, they're going to see some of that Victorian England stuff and they think of Downton Abbey. They think you suddenly got class.
It's going to be Bridgerton with time travel and vampires. Buy it now.
Thank you. So, Marcus, I'm telling you, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Now, I know this is a little crazy, but I'm looking at this campaign. I got 23 minutes left, and there's a chance, which is beyond me because we didn't even put it in the campaign here, that our Indiegogo backers already unlocked, which was the Crusade Comics Shield cloth patch. But I have that down here. And there's an a slight outside chance that we actually could unlock that. And that would be, my goodness, we'd be over the moon. Another cool thing about this Kickstarter campaign is that this campaign is bigger than our last She campaign. Than the Sakura. No offense, Stephen Peros. I hope it doesn't wound you. But this campaign has eclipsed the She Sakura Kickstarter campaign. So our Kickstarters are growing. So thank you so much. And sorry, Stephen Peros, please try harder next time.
Well, I've just put this on there so that people, some of your viewers who don't know that I'm not just on here, some lackey who has some other campaign going on. I was hand selected by Billy because not only do I have a campaign going on, but I'm proud to say, truly proud to say, and honored that I'm part of She-story. And written with Billy's tutelage and guidance and complete creative overlordship, the Return of the Warrior trilogy. So I'm honored to be here for the closeout of Shi Senryaku. I know everybody involved, love everybody involved, and if not for Shi Senryaku, there would be nothing for shoulders for me to stand upon in writing this newest trilogy. So thrilled to be here.
Well, thank you, Steve. And so for those of you who don't know, Steve, I adore this man. I adore both these men. Yeah. Steve and I met, and it might have been the first day of junior high school in the cafeteria. How our two worlds collided, I do not know, but we sat together at lunch. You were a monster kid. I was a monster kid. You had far more monster knowledge and accessibility than I had ever had. You opened up a whole new world to me.
I'm honored.
And I still think when I think of monsters and all and monster books, and I think of you because some fun times we would go to see the Saturday sci-fi afternoon movies playing at our local theater.
That's right. Did you go? Yeah, because they did that very briefly. It was just after Star Wars. Not to date us. We were just little toddlers, and they, I think it was Fox, 20th Century Fox, put out some movies for kiddie matinees. We were in kiddies, but we went because it was like the original War of the Worlds on the big screen, and When Worlds Collide.
Yep.
And it was like awesome.
It was awesome because they probably like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1 or 2 o'clock, something like that. Yep.
So I'm sure Steven's older brother Mike came, Barry's older brothers came, Milton. What's his other brother's name?
There's Dave, Steve, Milton, and Barry.
Yeah, no, I remember. I know, of course, Steve is our friend of ours. Steve is just a year older than us. But I remember Milton. I remember Milton because I remember hanging out with him at Barry's wedding, talking to him. A really nice guy. But we would go, and then though, Blevins, I got to tell you, I might have ran around with a bit of a rough crowd in my days. And unfortunately, so I told them what we were doing, and ladies and gentlemen, this is JC Vaughn.
Whoa! What's up, JC?
Whoa! Writer extraordinaire, editor. Is that Gary Cohn? No, that's his thing. So here's what happened. So again, I might have ran with a bit of a rough crowd. Can you say that, Steve? Were they maybe a bit salty? Jason,
I just know everybody. Everybody had a hockey stick. That's all I know.
We were. So there's a town called Babylon, New York, and they eat. And so the guy from the film, what's it? Billy
Midnight
Hayes.
Express.
Midnight Express. Yeah, Midnight Express. That guy Billy Hayes, who got arrested in Turkey for smuggling hash or whatever, trying to smuggle hash out. He's from our hometown.
Now, wait a minute. You just created a great faux pas, Billy.
Oh.
A great faux pas. We are from North Babylon.
Yeah.
You said Babylon.
Oh, well, because I'm getting my stories confused because...
And in the movie, he says he's from Babylon, and that infuriated the town and people from North Babylon because he's from North Babylon.
Yes, so North Babylon are all the people whose parents couldn't afford to buy a house in Babylon, which is near the water, and it's beautiful. And so we all lived in North, very proud town. We have bulldogs and all. But
you had much more property in North Babylon.
Yes, absolutely. So I remember Steve you got mad at me one Saturday because I guess I fell to peer pressure and some of the hoodlums that I might have palled around with, because I had two sets of friends.
Yeah,
I had my smart movie friends, and then I had my hockey moronic.
Wait, tell me what I did. I don't remember this story. I want to hear it.
Remember I snuck those guys in? Remember they're like, you got to sneak us in. I'm like, oh. Okay. And then they were just laughing at the movie. It was which film was it? When they took the rocket ship to Mars or something.
When worlds collide, when they're getting
worlds collide.
Because the world is colliding, and we gotta live somewhere else.
Yeah, and so we're looking at this a massive scale of a film with the rocket ship and all the seats and everything, and then they were just assholes throughout the whole entire thing. They were laughing. They were loud. That's
one of those horrible memories that I've effectively blocked.
Oh, good. Okay. And you were so pissed off me, like, don't you ever fucking ask those assholes. Don't you ever sneak those fucking assholes never again. So like that. I'm like, wow.
Even then in seventh grade, I was a little dictator.
He was yelling at me. Yeah. Well, salute. So that's that. So that's our Saturday morning matinee story. But
I like it. By God, I like it. JC, do you like that story?
I do, and it sounds like Billy.
Yeah, so Steve, so Steve, it's like dinner at San Diego. I can't say no to people.
I love it.
Which I have to talk to you guys about. We'll talk about it here too, so everyone can hear our problems, which aren't problems at all.
I got no problems. I hope you
have no problems. They're actually good. So getting back to who Steve Peros is, guys, is that Steve again? One of my best friends. I've adored this man since 7th grade. We both went to college in New York City, maybe 4 miles apart for 4 years, and we saw each other once on the train on a Saturday. Never any bars, never anything. That's before for cell phones.
Well, in Manhattan, as everybody knows, even though people walk it, and just like any city, especially when you go into college, you stay in this certain zone, and even though there isn't official campuses per se in schools that are in Manhattan, essentially, when you look back, you realize, well, I never really went any further north than here, south of here, east or west of there. And there was a campus. I'm sure you had that experience, Billy.
Yeah.
And that was me for NYU. And, we were creating we got to leave home. We got to get involved with finding ourselves in our craft, and we're still doing that. Any good artist should always be doing that. Thank you, James. You are the man. This is one of the greatest men to walk the earth in comic book shoes. He's a great man, James Sanchez. Treated me beautifully.
He took care of you when I couldn't go.
He's a fine man. Thank you so much, James. I appreciate it. But Billy, we were sowing our oats. We were becoming the formative men so that we could reconnect later.
Yes.
And do the great things that we're doing together. And so I wouldn't have had it any other way. We wouldn't have been able to stand each other if we saw each other again during college.
That's true. We might have.
Oh, well, you know what? I think I couldn't have stood you. I think that's really.
Yeah, but I had so many hot chicks in my school.
I know, that's why I couldn't have stood you.
Yeah, these friends, you could have been like, dude, you should hang out. Just come on over for a weekend, for a Friday night or Thursday night. We would go to McManus's on 19th and 7th, which is in a lot of films. It's in Highlander. It's in The Other Guys. A lot of movies. They show an Irish bar. It's McManus's, Peter J. McManus's.
I was one of those dumb people who go to Manhattan, go to college, and gets a girlfriend second year. So now I'm not even freaking single anymore.
Uh-oh.
Who does that?
I don't know. Just
you gotta
totally
wait till like your senior year to get the girlfriend.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You got to try all that.
Not only that, but I broke up with a high school girlfriend for the college girlfriend. I didn't even really have an effective swinging singles college life.
Oh, so there was no break.
No.
Oh,
wow.
Shame. I would have ruined you then. I totally would have ruined you.
I messed things up.
So,
yeah, you did.
So, Billy,
yes.
Not to change subjects or anything, but 91,475.
Hot dog, right? And like I said, this campaign, thank you guys, has far exceeded our She Sakura campaign. And the cool thing too is that, again, thank you everyone who's backed this on Kickstarter, is that on Indiegogo we have 900 backers and here we have 846. So I'm just beside myself. It couldn't come at a better time for us, for our family. I've said this many times, and Jeff, I've said this before, that these people, you people, if I can say that, change our lives almost 30 years ago, and you've done it again in these past 3 years, and we're so appreciative of it, and we are giving our all, and we damn well will not disappoint you with this book. As I said, it's more than just an omnibus. It's more of a writer and artist edition.
It is.
And I cannot wait for you to see the new stuff we're working on. Jeff, JC, and I are working on right now on She Gatecrasher. After that, Steve Peros. We're going to bring Steve Peros in from LA to come to Long Island and spend a couple of days with us. if you don't mind.
In the Roosevelt bedroom.
The Roosevelt bedroom is William's bedroom now.
Well,
you have to stay up in the playroom here.
Hey, that sounds good.
Blevins, we had before Debbie and I had kids, and I think William was born, but he was in the other room. But we had an extra bedroom, so I called it the Roosevelt room. And I had all my Theodore Roosevelt stuff. There actually was a portrait in a frame of Theodore Roosevelt above the bed.
Was there a teddy on the bed as well? Oh.
Well, yes. When people were absolutely, there was a teddy on the bed.
That's awesome.
Then I had my swords in there, and all my Theodore Roosevelt GI Joes, and the Roosevelt room called it.
I want to say something before I forget. So the phone call I just got was my father, and he wanted me to tell you congratulations, but he wanted me to really tell Steve Perros that he really liked Stoker and Wells. And he can't wait for the second one, which I don't know if you know the story, Stephen. When my dad came to visit, I didn't have anything for him to read or anything. So, I tried to get him to read one of my comic books, and he's not really big into the sci-fi, really, even though I think The Time Machine is pretty sci-fi. But I said, this is kind of like The Time Machine meets Bram Stoker's Dracula. So I let him read it, and he read it like twice, and he messed it up.
That is awesome. Well, if he messed it up, there is a reward level where you can get another.
I had the Billy Tucci signed special cover.
Oh.
Well, I only have one, Dr. B left.
I wasn't fishing for one. I was just letting you know what happened.
Well, I look forward and I hope and pray, and I'm being a bold entrepreneur and a bully when I say I can't wait for the Brian Blevins backing on the Kickstarter.
Yeah, and we'll.
Do I have your support, sir?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been in the works on my end. So yeah, absolutely, I'll be back in it.
Oh, you're such a great man. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I got
at least get a copy for my dad to ruin. And
whenever I hear that somebody tells me that their kid read it, their dad read it, I mean, someone whose teenage daughter never read, that's like 12-year-old daughter, just loved it. So yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled when and there's definitely some stuff there that I question whether a 12-year-old girl should be reading, but I mean, it's still, it still works. And
I told him I was going on, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to bother you." I was like, "It's cool." I was like, "It's me and JC and Steve Perry." He's like, "Is that the guy that wrote that the book with the time machine?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, tell him I like that book."
Well, he really doesn't like it nearly as much if it wasn't for this guy, JC Vaughn, who was my very first mentor in graphic novel writing, and I appreciate everything JC did to go over my work, because that unlike the first book, unlike this new book, which is written specifically as a graphic novel, the first one I reverse engineered a screenplay. But I want to put that aside, Billy. We're at 8 minutes left on yours. What parting words do you have? Not parting words. What do you want to share with everybody? I know you're excited.
I'm going to share that. I'm incredibly humbled. Deb is sleeping on the couch. I think I'm going to leave her alone and let her sleep on the couch, because if I do, I might be able to grab a cigar and smoke it up here.
Yeah. Today's cigar is on its way out. I might have to light up another one.
Yeah, I think you will. Yeah, she falls asleep on the couch at least once a week, and I just leave her because she works. Guys out there, Debbie works so hard. She's working all day, and then she cooks for us and she takes care of us and all this stuff. And we're 3 spoiled men in my home, and as it should be. She she's sitting there, and I guarantee I'll go downstairs, because when I went downstairs to get a little sniffer, if you will, she was like this, and her iPad was on her lap, and she's on the couch sleeping, and she's watching what's it called? Some Family Feud. So she's out. But she works so hard. And but both of us, we were talking about this after our previous stream with Old Bean down here, is that we just can't believe it. We're just so happy, and we're just so proud, I guess, to be a part of this community and have you all come out there, because it's wonderful that so many of the people that buy our books have become, they're not just fans. Looking at Zach and well, of course, Sanchez, my brother, but you got Marcus, and and Randy, and a bunch of these guys have become really good friends, and we hang out and stuff like that, and we've had great times. Vaughn Coleman, I love this kid, and we just have so much fun, and it's really is a wonderful, wonderful community, and but it's also cool in a way that it's a very creative community. It is a business, but as Jeff was saying that, we deal directly with the buyers now, with the fans. You don't have that, whether for good or bad, that buffer of the distributor or the retailers, because the fans they hold you accountable, right, Jeff? I mean, and if you do not fulfill, they'll let you know for sure.
Yeah, one of the things that's great about that, and you and I were talking about it, and then Jimmy Palmiotti is the one who sort of put it into the right sentence, which was, the minute you push start on the campaign, you're not the creator anymore. You're the shipping person. You're the business person. You're the customer service person.
Yeah. And
if you don't have that attitude, you're going to fail at this.
Right.
Look at this, 918806.
Oh, geez. You guys are wonderful.
5 minutes ago, there's a nice super chat for Steve here.
Yep.
Oh, Steve. Oh, thank you very much, Roll Bean, for spotting that. Let me scroll up a wee bit and find it. Oh, here it is. Oh, William Sleeper. Good to see you, my friend. $5 super chat. Stephen Peros, I looked at your book after the other night. I'm liking the steampunk vibe. So now you're over $2,500.
We're at 25% of what we're looking to raise on Kickstarter, and hopefully go beyond it. But thank you. I appreciate that. Steampunk fans have embraced the book. We were written up on 2 different steampunk websites for the first one. So yeah, whenever I'm at the shows, they always come by the table and flip through it and go, oh yeah, I got to have this. So if you are a steampunk person, if you know a steampunk person, please share the campaign. As we all know, that's how this all gets done. That's how independent comics get done. It's the fans. We've cut out the middleman. We need you. We need your support. So thank you. I really appreciate that.
It's true.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for that. And
91,868 with 4 minutes to go.
4 minutes to go.
Can we get $132?
$132.
That's all we need. And
To
that's a great
92.
number.
When Columbus sailed the Ocean Blue, 132.
92, the year a team from Canada won the World Series and they killed Superman. How about that?
You think those are related?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here. I've been up since 6 o'clock.
You have.
But again, guys, what an amazing campaign. A lot of great features on this campaign. Again, this book is 240 pages. You unlocked a ton of stretch goals, which we'll see right here.
Yeah, take a look at those stretch goals. They're amazing.
All these stretch goals have been unlocked. Let me see if I change.
And none of the artists make you go, who?
Oh, they're all superstars. Everyone
Yes.
superstars. And the cool thing was, and I was talking about this earlier, and I know you guys have watched this before, but I got to tell you that, Steve, when I came up with this concept with Gary Cohn, it was probably Christmas of 1994 or January 95. And Gary had explained that I said, I want to do a comic that we on the art of war, something that to do on Sun Tzu's The Art of War. And he said, I have something better. And he told me about the 36 stratagems of the art of war, which really breaks it all down. And then I'm like, we got to get people. We got, we've got to get, let's get everybody. And everyone I asked, except for Dave Stevens, who couldn't do it, just because he was too far behind on his projects, on his deadlines and all, for whatever he's doing, commissions and all. They all said yes. And I remember when I watched this video, this campaign video, that it was a year before this, we started getting all the artwork in. So I started getting all the artwork in February, March of 1995. And I remember February, March of 95. And I was so poor. I was dirt poor. I was 6 months behind in my rent. I was struggling to rub 2 nickels together. Debbie was taking, was taking us out to dinner. Whenever we had to go out to dinner, Debbie would pay for it. But I had this passion in me, and I had this drive, and I believed in this project. And the cool thing is that my enthusiasm was contagious. That I was able to get someone like Fred Pierce, who I just met at a chance meeting at a printer, a color separator. That I guess he just got a kick out of me, how excited I was about this book. And he made a phone call to their printer and had this book printed on spec. And I had
he guaranteed your print run, which is sort of amazing. Yep. He was at Valiant then, right?
Yep, he was. Yeah, I think he was vice president. But here we go. Our final 99 seconds, guys. We are
refresh.
It's just live. It just goes live. But this is a great. You kidding me?
You know what? I just pledged, and because I can't remember if I did the Indiegogo or not. I know I didn't do Kickstarter, so I either have 2 books or 1 book. I can't remember, Billy, but I'm in.
Oh, Steven, you have to do that.
Come on, I want to get that number. I want to see it get to 92,000.
Well, I can't pledge on my own, so
no,
it's fine. 851 backers. God bless you guys. Again, this campaign is far and away exceeded our last She Kickstarter. You guys are great. Steve, you're going to have to do better on that next book there, buddy. And Jeff, too.
Well, this is epic. Billy, come on. This is epic.
No, this is wonderful. This is epic beyond words. You guys are great. And our Indiegogo.
This is a huge piece of artistic comic book graphic novel history. You've taken something that existed, you've made it better with today's technology. You've created a glorious hardcover volume that's like that you could kill people with it.
Yes,
true.
Yes,
you can kill people with it.
We are scheduled to go to the printer at the end of this month.
Oh, it's a mere $87.
I know. It's great. That's fine. Thank you, guys. This is wonderful. I think it has a big like confetti and stuff. Let's see.
I can't wait.
I want to see confetti and stuff.
1.
Nice. Hey, we're
Look at that.
Thank you all. Thank each and every one of you. You guys are wonderful. Look at that. And the campaign was 852 backers pledged $91,913.84 to bring this project to life. Kickstarter, the project has been, it says, oh, they sent me a nice little email with all balloons bursting and stuff. It says,
nice. They get a big piece of that.
Yes, they do. Yeah. So I'm going to stop. Let me see if I can share my little email here real quick.
Yeah.
I think I can. It's got to be window. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, let's see if this is it.
There it is.
Here we go. Hey, Opa. All right, congratulations. You did it, guys. We did it. Thank you, Cabron Sanchez. You did it. You and 852 backers are making this happen. Feel free to laugh, dance, smile, pump a fist in the air, or all 4 at once.
None of us want to see you dancing.
Yeah, no one wants. None of us. We'll be sending you a couple of emails over the next 24 hours with all the information you need, blah, blah, blah. You guys are great. Post an update. Of course I will. Not tonight, though. Wow. Thank you, guys. Extraordinary. You guys are great.
You could rest easy, my dear friend.
And this book is really expensive. And as Jeff said, every week the paper fees go up 5%.
Literally every month for at least the last 2 years. Paper costs have gone up on average of 5%.
You guys are fantastic. Thank you all so much.
Tucci,
wow.
I have to go because I have to get up in the morning because I have a job now.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing with you, Brian. I'm laughing at you.
Well, I know you don't know this, Steve, but I decided to purchase of a country club. So I bought a country club. Yeah. So yeah, it's good times. Good times.
Well, you have to fly me in to do a what? Billy, you did hit 92.
We did hit 92,000. 92,000. Oh,
nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Brian, you have to have one of those country clubs where you fly in guests to give speeches, you know, to give dissertations and discussions with the
Yes.
over the luncheons with the ladies.
Once everything gets completely done, like there will definitely be an invite. I will definitely be inviting all of my popoles over, all the people that I know. I'll be inviting
your
them
peeps?
to come check it. Yeah, my
And
peeps.
Billy, and you know, the thing that with me and Billy, what you get is we do our dissertations at country clubs shirtless.
Yeah.
So,
Nice. Well, I mean, they're all going to be shirtless, so I mean that's not really a bonus.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. I'm gonna have Billy come out. He's gonna wear his kilt, do some golfing. Then we're gonna go shoot some boars. We're gonna go shoot some pigs.
congratulations, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
well done, Blevins. Very
but
proud.
that's not even all. That's not even all that I got going on. But yeah, I need to get up in the morning and get some stuff going. But you guys have a great night, Billy. As always, man, congratulations. I say this every single time. Like, you know, in 1995, I had decided that I wanted to work with you, and I spent 20 years trying to get to that point to where I was able to meet up and talk with you. And then there was another 10 years after that, after I did meet you, to actually get to the point to where I'm working with you now. And man, I never regretted anything. I knew that I was backing a winner every single time. And just thank you for not being like all the other people and letting people down.
Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you.
So,
all right, Dr. B, I'll talk to you tomorrow, brother.
See y'all later. Peace.
All right, bye. Guys, well, thank you so much. So, Steve, we're gonna go, Jeff. If you could stick around for a second, I'm gonna run downstairs for a second, but we're gonna open up. We'll run Steve's video. We're gonna share a little Stoker and Wells. Steve's new camp. So, Jeff and Steve have campaigns. Jeff is on Indiegogo.
Yeah, let's talk about it,
right now, and Steven is on Kickstarter. So while we're in the Kickstarter mode, let's hit with a little KS here. For you, Steve, we'll run your video for a second. If you want to refresh your cigar, please do so. And let me present it.
Mute us. I'll mute myself. Yeah.
And he tries to sell his dog. That's the best part.
Oh, you spoiler alert!
Yeah, way to ruin it, Billy.
Ruin it? No one's listening to me.
Whoa! I made
hey
another 300 sitting on your show. Thank you.
Yeah. So all right. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go off camera. Stop my camera, and then I'm going to let's do Steven's video here, and let's.
Hi, my name is Stephen Peros, and I am the writer-creator of the Stoker and Wells series. I'd like to welcome you to the campaign for the second book in our saga, Stoker and Wells, The Ashes of Revenge. This book imagines a 20-something screw-up named H.G. Wells meeting a grumpy 40-something theater manager named Bram Stoker, and the two men going on a shared adventure that winds up leading to the creative inspiration for both writers' first great work, Dracula and the Time Machine. That first book that introduced the characters wound up getting tremendous reviews from the media, which you can read more about below. So much so that we wound up getting on the radar of an amazing company named Amasia Entertainment, where we've been developing it as a TV series. And they know a thing or two about movies and comics because they were founded by the former president of Marvel Studios. But now with the writer's strike going on for all film and TV writers, that's allowed Barry and I to amp up our development of the follow-up book, Stoker and Wells, The Ashes of Revenge. Please take a look below. Drawn by Barry Orkin, colored by the amazing team at Studio House, and impeccably lettered by Mindy Lopkin. We also have a variant cover by Billy Tucci that's full color as you look below. One of the things that Billy has done is he has offered, just like he did when we did our first book, he has offered to let us have as a backer reward his original pencil sketch, one of a kind, signed by Billy and shipped to you. That was so popular in our first campaign, it sold on the first day. So if it's of interest to you, I encourage you to take a look and snatch it up. Billy did the variant cover for our previous book, Order of the Golden Dawn, based on a developmental drawing, an unused developmental drawing of our heroine, Nina, who is an Eloy from the Time Machine. He did this gorgeous cover, limited edition. I went into the vault. I took the only remaining 5 copies out to use for this campaign. So if you're interested in it, please take a look. It's at the pledge, one of the pledge levels below. We have a lot of other things as well, really cool stuff down there besides the book. We have Barry's amazing 5 bookmarks, set of 5 bookmarks that you can get as an add-on. We have this great 2-sided 11-ounce hot mug that Barry designed. You want to have your hot cocoa in that this winter. I'm also selling my dog, so you'll see her down there on the what? No. We said okay, fine. No dog. Hey, no dog. Double B. No dog. Okay, well, thank you for stopping by and taking a look at our book and the pledge levels. On behalf of the team, we hope that you will give us a shot and order a copy of Stoker and Wells, The Ashes of Revenge. And on behalf of me, my apologies for being willing to sell my dog.
All right, come back. I'm trying to find my type.
That's my low-tech video. Thank you all for listening.
It works, brother. It works. Great job. Let's hit that camp. Let me close out of that.
I'm very honored that your viewers and your fans have shown support tonight. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and the people, and a lot of you people out there, you may not be aware. You don't know Steve. Again, and Steve is someone I consider both these men as brothers, actually. And but he is brilliant. This is an incredibly engaging story. A lot of humor, especially on the part of HG. I love how he's written. And but I mean, you really did your homework, brother. And well done. I got to tell you.
Thank you. It's a fun first book to write. One of my favorite things that I kept hearing over and over from fans and from the reviewers, the comics reviewers, is just how much they just so appreciate how much story that sometimes, I'm certainly not dissing anybody's comic books, but sometimes they find there's a lot of great art and set pieces, and they sometimes wish there was actually more story going on per graphic novel that they're reading. And I only know my storytelling from film, from TV, classic story, 3-act storytelling, a beginning, middle, and an end, and making sure that every page, every panel counts and is moving the story forward. So I'm just so happy that I was nervous. It was like it was my debut in the world of comics and graphic novels, and I'm so happy that the fans and the average readers and the journalists embraced it, and that now we're and then I got further training working on your 3 books, Billy. That was in my next training ground, writing directly for graphic novels rather than reverse engineering a feature screenplay into a graphic novel. And I got carried away. I thought I could swear my girlfriend said it was okay to have my mom's dog Misty. It was now my dog. My mom passed away a year ago, and I now have the dog. I thought it was okay. I thought it was an acceptable reward. I mean, that's fair,
I'm cool with it.
But I guess it wasn't. I misunderstood my girlfriend. I thought she had said it was okay. What I didn't realize was she actually said no way in hell. I misunderstood.
You can see where the phrases rhyme, no, and yeah, a sure thing. But these things happen.
It happens.
I knew you'd understand, Tex.
I got a question for you. Where in the process of working on the first book, where did it click in your head? Because I know where I think you suddenly shifted gears and really got the form of comics. Where you tell me from your side where you thought
it was that wonderful. It was I can't say specifically where in the story per se, but I know it was when two things clicked in. One is that you can't write a panel where someone turns around, gets hit, and falls over a table. You cannot write that. That's not a panel. A panel is a still image, and you have to get back to your brain about. Then you realize, oh, it's going back to storyboarding. When I would storyboard, which I still do, feature films and my short films at NYU, and so when that clicked in, and then that delightful thing, which is that gearing up that the last panel of every odd numbered page must make you want to turn the page.
Yeah,
and that carries over to another rule that you have in screenwriting, which is, they say that if every story has 3 acts, a beginning, middle, and end, that the end of every act should make you want to see the next. Well, you go further than that. Every scene should make you want to see the next scene. That's why, for example, when we all watch, those who binge watch serialized 1-hour dramas on TV, you notice every scene ends on a question mark, not a period. It ends on, oh my God, what's going to happen now? Oh, well, now we're going to go on to these other characters. So we're keeping you in suspense to want to see what comes next. And that's what I love about those odd numbered pages, and structuring it so that you're ending that page to make you flip the page. Billy and I would talk about this. And then I would say to Billy, when Billy wanted to add 2 panels, I'm just going to move this over to like, you can't do that. Because then it's a domino effect. But then,
all right. That opens a can of worms here. What is your favorite thing that Billy has said to you while you were writing She?
What he said was what was unspoken, and this is sincere, that when you start working on a project that has such longevity, and I'm not saying this jokingly, such historical import in not only the community, but in the life of the person who you are writing it for, and that person is a dear friend, you fear that you're going to get everything wrong. I've certainly not read every She book. That I'm going to do everything wrong, and Billy's going to go, oh my God, I'm going to have to be schooling Steve every single
every dang day.
Billy was just so open for new blood on it, and I think he's that way with each new writer who he works with. It just gives him a shot in the arm. He loved the ideas. He loved what I was bringing to it, and I found that I was able to mimic, his vision of Anna and Arashi, and this new character was Haikyo, the daughter. A lot of new characters in the Return of the Warrior trilogy. So Billy accepting my script and my pages as they come in, that to me was an annoying. And then getting excited when I came up with the prison location that exists in Manhattan. That
was a
prison. Because I knew we wanted to keep things. Oh, that's the wonderful thing Billy did throughout, is he made Manhattan look like something new around every corner. Yeah. That it took place in these weird fringes you didn't know. And so I knew we were doing a prison thing, and something just told me, same old prison, same old, same old. Is there something? And I discovered this floating prison barge out in the Bronx that none of us knew about.
The New York City prisons are so overcrowded. They stuck them on this gigantic barge, which is like a cruise ship in a way, with barbed wire. And
I feel like I've been there. You draw it so well. I mean, and then we made in one of the books, we said, well, let's do it outside, like the meeting areas that where the prisoners get to have social is on an outside deck, and we had a scene out there. So yeah, it was just Billy's acceptance of me writing the story is the greatest gift he gave me through this process, because I can't even say there was ever an unhappy moment in 3 books, an argument where we about it, or just hostility or anger or anything. We kept it lively and always discussion, because very much it wasn't about Billy's book or my book. There was the book, that was the child. Let's make it the best it can be. And so I listened to him when he had a good idea. He listened to me when I had a good idea, and it was as simple as that.
And then we found things like if you guys read Sakura and Haikyo, we found Haikyo means the ruins in Japanese, means ruins. And on Roosevelt Island, at the tip of Roosevelt Island, is an abandoned mental hospital. from the 1880s.
Yeah, smallpox, right? I think.
Yeah. And and that set the stage for where the climax of Shi Sakura of Shi Haikyo comes about, and just cool things. The more research you do, the more the more windows open for you.
Well, and I remember my proudest moment, because I think it truly brought out one of the best, 5-page sequences Billy's ever drawn, in my opinion, and inspired sequences Billy's ever drawn. Is I said to Billy, hey, when she comes back from visiting her mom out on the eastern fork of Long Island, back on the train, that she had a fight on a train with a guy. And initially, Billy wasn't all that excited about it. He said, oh, there's a lot of things where people fight on a train. But he was thinking about how people fight amongst the passengers in the large section. And I said, no. Think of the handicapped bathroom. The whole fight will take place in a bathroom. And I made him watch 2 James Bond fights from the Sean Connery days. One where it is an awesomely choreographed fight in an elevator, and another is an awesomely choreographed fight, the famous Robert Shaw, Sean Connery fight in a cabin. And Billy took and ran with that and created truly one of his freshest and most original Anna Ishikawa battles.
I mean, I mean, for God's sakes, how many other people would allow their creations, these beautiful doll, to have her head shoved into a public toilet on a train? And that's what he did to Annie. He shoved her head right in the toilet.
And you sort of have to be a Long Island person to get how totally disgusting that is.
So disgusting. I got to find that image. Let me find that.
But I wanted to echo what you said, Steve, about Billy's willingness to let you be the leading dance partner when you've got the spirit and understanding of what it is. I did get my favorite pushback I ever got from him was the first time I was writing She. He was like, I don't draw 9-panel grids. And I got and my answer just looked like it was my character. I said, you do now.
Yeah. And in my defense, so I went back, and when I was putting together the omnibus, I did do like a 12 or 16 panel page.
You did.
I did
absolutely. And what was funny about that is
that's why I don't want to do it ever again.
That did not jump to mind when I asked you to do that. But when you asked me why I was putting that in, I said because we had done the page 1 was 3 panels, one of which was dark. Pages 2 and 3 was a splash. And I said, we've got to do something to show these people down, slow them down, and make this thing take longer than 10 seconds to read. And that's what you guys have done brilliantly. There's so much story packed into each of the issues of the Return of the Warrior trilogy and this fight scene that you're showing right there.
Yeah, that's a scene in the bathroom where they're all combined, and this is after she got her head.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. She's
not there yet.
Shoved into the toilet.
Yeah.
He does it after that. But it's just fun stuff. Yeah, she kicks him into the mirror.
Yeah.
And Mindy's sound effects and Brian's coloring effects on this are just spectacular.
Great stuff. And Steve, we had something here though. Let's get back to this. Is that I don't think this is correct. That Eternitine Forever. Mina as an Eloy. Interesting combination. She links both characters and words and worlds. Nice. That's not.
Well, what I did was no. You're close. Eternitine Forever is that when I first thought that I wanted to do this sort of. This is what I was writing it as a screenplay. I thought I wanted to do this sort of kind of tentpole summer period adventure, fantasy adventure. At that time, Robert Downey Jr., Sherlock Holmes were on their last legs. The Pirates of the Caribbean were on their last legs. So I said, somehow I just thought of a buddy story about fantasy or horror authors. Okay, so now I'm researching, and I find these two guys, 2 different generations, a 20-something, a 40-something, someone a little more reserved, and uptight like Stoker, someone a little bit more throws himself into the breach, into the fight. Little guy like H.G. Wells. So I said, let me read Time Machine and Dracula. They're both of their first great works, and just bam, all these lights went off. In particular, the heroine of Time Machine is named Weena, and the heroine of Dracula is Mina. So what happens is our guys go on an adventure that involves an Eloy named Nina. So what happens when they come out of this, both of them want to have Nina in their respective stories. So they bargain and they say, okay, both of us may use her, but neither of us can call her Nina. And so Stoker says, I shall call her Mina. And Wells is like, Mina, you just moved one letter down the alphabet. That's it. Because I'm going to call her something, a name no one's ever heard of, Weeda.
Yeah.
And so, but they have a lot of this. They have a lot of similar qualities. They're both
it's been a while. I haven't read. It's been a while since I read the first issue, so I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. So her name is Nina in the first story, and they have that discussion at the end when they're discussing how they're going to split the creative spoils of war. Which to me that made me know, when I realized that reading the two books, I said, wow, these are the right two guys for so many reasons, because as you know, as everyone here knows who've seen their favorite buddy films, 48 Hours, whatever buddy films, whether you watch The Odd Couple, the sloppy guy and the neat guy, you know, buddy stories are predicated on that they have to be different. They have to be at odds, because that's where you get drama, that's where you get comedy, conflict. And then when the books fell into place the way they did, I said, oh, there's no question. This is the right two guys.
Excellent. Well, why am I echoing? What is that? Am I sharing something I shouldn't be sharing with the devil?
But can we take a moment and talk about Al Capone Vampire?
That's what I'm going to do. I'm just wondering why I'm echoing, or someone's echoing. I have it all queued up, if you will.
Yeah, I'm not hearing an echo on my end.
Okay. Then maybe it's just annoying. Yes, because we had Randy Howell posted the Al Capone Vampire Hunter #2 by Jason Vaughn.
Not Al Capone.
Let's check out this fantastic book.
Al Capone is not a vampire hunter. By God, then he'd be hunting himself.
No, did I say that again? Did I say that?
A vampire.
I say it all the time. I know. It's so much more interesting if he's just a vampire, not a hunter. Old Bean, you are now on Indiegogo with this.
Yes.
You're in demand.
Yes.
You've got. So let's talk, brother. This is a great book. Can we play the video? Do you mind?
Oh no, absolutely. Let's go.
All right, let's give it a whirl.
Hi, I'm J.C. Vaughn, creator and writer of Al Capone Vampire. The rest of the creative team and I hope you'll give serious consideration to backing this project for Al Capone Vampire #2. For those of you who are just discovering us, the concept is pretty straightforward. It's Al Capone, he's come back as a vampire, and he's decided to take over Chicago again. The story spun out of our Vampire PA Bite Out of Crime one-shot and straight into Al Capone Vampire #1, which will also be available during this campaign. In this issue, the vampire gang war in Chicago reaches a fever pitch with an insane level of action, violence, and mayhem. At the same time, in suburban Pittsburgh, our crew that handed Capone his first and so far only vampiric defeat is growing more concerned with his renewed presence. We have fantastic art from Brendan and Brian Frame, superb colors from House of Magi, excellent lettering from Mindy Lotkin, and amazing edits from Jason Odom. In addition to a selection of covers by the Frame brothers, colored by Wes Hartman, we also have a killer Al Capone cover by James Nelms. And be sure to check out our new Glow in the Dark cover. Our first one was a huge hit. On behalf of everyone on Team Al Capone, thanks for your consideration.
You know, one of the things that I really love when I look at this book, and certainly look at this campaign, is you come across, to most people who know you, reserved, soft-spoken, and you're like David Cronenberg is this way, the filmmaker, and yet the stuff itself is so damn intensely, crazily violent and bloody and gory, and you don't turn away from that. It's like, really, this guy has limbs being torn off and hearts being pulled out and blood spraying everywhere.
Yeah, one of my favorite things happened actually was in an earlier one where Dee Dee, who Dean's girlfriend, who has become a vampire, grabs a crucifix. Her hand is burning, and she punches it into another vampire's chest. And I don't know where this stuff comes from, but the thing I did on this is I don't ignore it.
Yeah. No,
it's sort of the same feeling. I was teaching a French films class at my local college back home in Texas, and I showed, and a lot of the ladies taking it were French teachers looking for refresher stuff. It was early enough in the day, and I showed them La Femme Nikita, and that's a bloody, brutal film, but it's also really incredibly cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to compare myself to Luc Besson, but that was the feeling I got writing this, which was I want to do this crazy thing that people can't look away from.
It's awesome. It really is.
It's a brilliant concept. Flippin' Vaughn has a. What was that? Is that you, Steve? Banging away there. Wasn't this turned into a TV show? It was 3 or 4 episodes out around 2016, 2017. I'm not familiar with it, Jeff.
Not even vaguely.
No.
No idea.
No. I love the homage cover.
Yeah.
Thank you for my glow in the dark cover, brother. And the cool thing about this campaign, guys, is that he was funded on Kickstarter, and Indiegogo, because he's in demand now. And now these books are literally order on demand, aren't they? So if you order this book, what if I make a pledge right now?
If you make a pledge right now, as somebody just did, and we had two on the earlier stream. I'm already, once we finish tonight, I'm going to box up the 2 that we did earlier, and they'll go out tomorrow.
Awesome.
And now there's a number of fewer things that because it's in demand and the books are already printed that we've shut down. But everybody who orders gets at least 1 extra comic and 3 trading cards, and it's fun. And I'll tell you, the other thing is, we just finished page 26 of Al Capone Vampire #3.
Oh boy!
And it is, they're off to the colorist, but they're already lettered. Jason Odom will get his crack at them. Matter of fact, he has them now. And what we're looking at doing is starting that campaign the Tuesday after San Diego.
Wow. God bless. Can't
and
wait.
We're going to have a very, very low threshold to turn it from 26 pages to 48 pages. The guys are already drawing the next set of pages, and we would still have the book out October or earlier.
Now, did you give the instruction to your because one of the things about those pages that we saw in the video is that the use of the color red is reserved for the blood, that there really isn't much red other than when that blood comes. Is that something that you were conscious of when you were doing?
You know what's really funny, Steve? I was really conscious of it with Wes on the cover, the one that you're looking at right there, and elsewhere. And I think the guys, because this is all following the original color scheme that Mark Wheatley created for me for Vampire PA, for the original miniseries. And we've used that as the springboard. These guys, House of Magi's brought their own take to it, but really the framework was laid by Mark. So there's a lot of dark stuff. The brighter colors tend to be clothing, and which is natural for something being at night. The only other red that we see in it on a regular basis is the female vampire Jocelyn tends to show up in ridiculous outfits, many of which have red in them.
Right.
Yes. She's hot, so good.
And that all really seriously, it all came from when I was a kid and reading Vampirella. I just thought it was hysterical that nobody ever appeared to notice how she was dressed.
Right.
And so I have in our world we have. Thank you, James Sanchez. In our world, we have people, at least a couple people go, where could she possibly be going dressed like that? But that is the only other real use of red in any kind of big splashy way.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that you saw that. So thank you.
So excellent palette choices, especially with someone like Mark to be your sort of art director.
Well, he
laying the
really,
groundwork for it.
I mean, the great thing was that when I first went to him, I was hoping that he had an assistant. You know, every once in a while he does, and that I could get the assistant coloring because I knew that I would get Mark looking over the assistant's shoulder, right? And I thought this is a sly way to get Mark. And he goes, "Yeah, I've sort of got a hole in my schedule. I could do this."
Wow.
And which was really great of him. And he really set the standard and also gave me a framework that I can point other people to.
Well, it is a gorgeous book. The Frame brothers are exceptional illustrators and storytellers. You are a fantastic writer. I cannot wait for the world to see you and Jeff, yours and mine, She Gatecrasher, which will launch in October, and then follow up with Steve Peros and I, She, The Floating World, working title for the first issue. We got to come up with a better name, but we just got to get away from all these Japanese names for our titles, Steve. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be fun if the next series that tells this new story of are we allowed to say what continent? What
sure. Well, what island for absolutely?
What island it takes place in? It's has Anna in all these years ever actually gone to Japan?
She hasn't been to Japan since 1990, since 2004.
Wow! So that's
she will return when she left with the last of the Sohai, of which one of them you killed in the first few pages of She Return of the Warrior. In the most brutal of ways.
Billy, what book was that? Was it Junen or was it something
Junen?
Else?
Yes. So
when she and Yoshitora and his friends head back to New York.
Yes, the last of the Sohai. So she literally is, unless we count Hotaru, the last of the Sohai now.
Mm-hmm. Well, Hotaru is definitely not to be discounted, my friend.
No. So anyway, I'm going to close this out real quick. Speaking of next week, I'll be streaming. We'll be, pushing these campaigns as well. But we're going to talk a little San Diego Comic-Con talk. And I want to present an old bean. Of course, you're invited. I know you're very busy, Jeff, so you have to let us know. But Friday evening, Stephen Peros. This is a place that we have reserved. Lion's Share.
I'm so excited.
All wild game dinner. So you can have elk, steaks, pheasant. You can have wild boar. Lots of alcohol. There was a pheasant. I think it was a chucker bolognese. It was phenomenal. We had the best time. That is Friday night at 8:45. That was the only time we can get it. So
that's perfect.
We got the pregame before that. I know the show ends around 6:30 or 7. But look at this. Look at the. Oh my goodness.
Boy.
Look at this. My goodness.
I am excited.
And Jeff, of course, let us know what your schedule is ASAP. Okay.
I will do that.
And for those who don't know, and you'll be hearing about it in the next 2 weeks, but we three will be at the convention. This guy is going to be on a panel that I am both moderating and participating in called adapting great books and TV shows for comics. The convention loves this panel. No matter how many panels I suggest to them every year, they always pick this one.
What day is that panel, guys?
That panel is on Friday at 5 p.m.
Oh,
so that's why I'm glad your thing is at 8:45. That's perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
8:45 or 8:15? You say 8:45. That's perfect.
8:45. We got 8:45.
Perfect. That's excellent scheduling. And then on Sunday at noon, this guy is you're invited too, but you'll be heading on a plane back from whence you came. Is the Return of Shi panel.
The Warrior returns.
Returns
Sunday morning at I think 11.
No, noon. It's at noon.
Oh, noon. Okay, noon. And we're gonna have a lot of fun, Steve. That
was a great panel last year. Even with the smaller crowd at San Diego last year, that was an awesome panel. I'm sorry I won't be there for that, and I'm very glad that it's 8:45 dinner. I normally eat like relentlessly on time, but I have a panel that will let out at 8 o'clock. So that's
let me check my schedule
that's
here.
Great. I hate having to rush from the convention, quick, it changed, and this actually makes it all nice and civilized. So
right now I have Billy, Debbie, Aaron, Aaron Lepresi, Dan Fraga, maybe Aaron's son and his daughter-in-law, Steve Peros, Mike Peros. So old Bean, hopefully.
Oh, I'll be there.
Yeah, because it's only part of 8, so I have to check that to see if Aaron's find out.
Me?
Well, the thing is that we're overbooked in every single thing, every single night, and no one's making dinner reservations except for me every single year. Because
except Saturday, I take care of Saturday, Billy.
Yes, of course you do. Yeah. So if I go to Aaron, hopefully Aaron will not. Let's see. Here's Aaron. Let's see what Aaron says.
Speaking of which, what time is that dinner, Steve?
I think we're doing it the same as we've always done it. It's at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Are we gonna hit the WGA thing? And
there is no WGA thing.
Oh, that's right, because they're on strike.
They're on strike. They're not doing the WGA reception, which is fine. It was always a little. It was fun, but it's nothing to write home about.
Jeff, we'll get you in. It's just I'm being bombarded by people, and it's driving me nuts. Mm-hmm. What I put my wife through today, I can show you my dinner. If you guys want to see, I can show you our dinner, the scheduling just for dinners. Why not? I'll show you.
You have a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, and a Saturday, and a Sunday when you take all of your helpers.
Yeah, this is what we're looking at. So this right here is let me find my message.
Well, first off, number 10 on your front. Oh, that's Thursday. I'm sorry.
These are the badges we have to get. This is Wednesday night dinner, Thursday night dinner, Friday night dinner, Saturday. See, I left alone because I am not doing anything but riding your coattails that night, old chum.
Yeah, you just tell me.
For Sunday. So we have 15 people want to come to dinner on Sunday. Friday night is already 8 people. Thursday night is 12, which our panel with that we're doing the combo couples panel. Wednesday night is late, so that we have that, and then there's our badges. So
beautiful,
crazy, it's crazy.
Steve, when are you coming down to the show?
Friday morning, and I leave Sunday. On the 5 o'clock train. I think back up. I teach and in person as opposed to online, which I could always do from a hotel if that was the case. But I actually have to teach in person on Thursday, screenwriting for college here in LA. So I even if I wanted to go early, that's not going to happen. So we hop the 7 a.m. train. We get in 9:30. My brother Mike and I have 3 sheets to the wind when we arrive because
yeah.
Several.
You give me a little hair of the dog. Hit my booth for it.
So
Well, look at this, Michael Sola. Thank you, Mike Sola. I'm treating to Greek dinner for everybody. Thank you.
Billy, are you recording this? Because this is our evidence. This is proof.
So let it be written.
So let it be done.
So let it be done.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all. Listen, guys, personally, thank you so much for our Shi Senryaku Kickstarter campaign. It was so huge. Our Shi Senryaku Omnibus Indiegogo is in demand. It will be for, I guess, the month of August by the time we start fulfilling, and then Debbie's got to stop it because she'll murder me. But guys, we have two fantastic campaigns by two tremendous creators who I am so honored to work alongside. Mr. J.C. Vaughn at the bottom. Let's take off Solof's thing here. It's too late, Solof. You already said it. You're in. And Mr. Stephen Perros. Guys, love you guys. I will talk to you both this weekend. And remember, we will do some cool stuff. We also have some special editions that we'll be showcasing. Our exclusive. We do one every year, and this is the cover to the one I'm doing. And guys, thanks a lot. Any parting words, gentlemen?
No, just stay safe, take care of each other, and make sure you go to Indiegogo for Al Capone Vampire and Stoker and Wells, The Ashes of Revenge on Kickstarter. Take a look and give us a shot.
Old Bean, are you still in demand on Indiegogo?
Yeah, and Indiegogo on demand, and the Kickstarters, literally both, with the exception of the orders we got tonight, they're all out in the mail. Most of them have been received.
Excellent. So let's go.
James, I'm sorry you won't be in San Diego this year. Hopefully I'll see you. Hopefully I'll get invited back by Jim Burleson to Albuquerque and see you there.
Absolutely. All right, guys.
And Billy, I did want to add one thing, and that's for Shi fans. Butch Geist did a beautiful cover for the Overstreet Guide to Collecting Comics, which is in previews now, and it includes a 1970s character, Ironjaw, current new character, Kent Menace, and Shi.
Yes, on the cover. Thank you so much for including her. So, all right, guys, we're gonna let you all go. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for supporting us. You guys are wonderful, and we'll see you over the weekend and into next week, and with the countdown to San Diego. So, see you guys in the funny books.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on POPXP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content.